All right, everybody. Today we are going to go over the difference quotient, that is f of x plus h minus f of x over h. So we're going to apply that formula to this example problem we have over here. F of x equals 2x squared minus 3x plus 4. In order to use the difference quotient formula, we need to find f of x plus h and f of x. F of x, thankfully, is always given to us at the very beginning, so that part is ready to go. But we're going to spend some time figuring out what f of x plus h is. So from here, a good idea is to usually take the original function and simply rewrite it, but with a blank set of parentheses everywhere that you see a variable, specifically x in this case. Now the reason why we're doing this is because plugging in just a number or just a variable might not be too bad, but when you're plugging in a whole expression, x plus h, that can lead to some confusion. So when I replace these variables with an empty set of parentheses, that's when we're going to see where exactly the x plus h goes, in hopes that we avoid any errors while plugging things in, so we get exactly what we need. So now we have f of some blank space equals 2 times some blank space squared minus 3 of some blank space plus 4. So all we got to do now is fill in these blank spaces with exactly what we want to plug into it. So I'm going to rewrite this one more time, actually, so you can see the progression of what we plug in. And what we're going to plug in is, again, just x plus h. This way, hopefully, it's more clear that we're not actually doing any math yet. We are simply plugging in the x plus h to get the new version of our problem. So we do have f of x plus h as we wanted to. From here, we can move on and plug everything into the difference quotient formula, or we can simplify f of x plus h by expanding everything. I'm going to do that. I'm going to expand everything, see what we end up with. And now we have the fully expanded form of f of x plus h. And we have f of x from way back here in the beginning. So we're good to go. Let's start plugging things in to the difference quotient formula and see what we end up with. So the difference quotient formula was f of x plus h first, so that's what we're going to write down right now. So this whole thing represents f of x plus h. And then we have minus f of x, which is just the original function. The original function was 2x squared minus 3x plus 4. So that's what I'm going to write in here. And don't forget to put all of this over h. That's another common pitfall, this just forgetting about the h because there's so much going on with the f of x plus h and the f of x themselves. So from here, we're going to distribute this negative. And after distributing that negative, we are going to combine all the like terms that we can. So let's drop these parentheses and we end up with 2x squared plus 4hx plus 2h squared minus 3x minus 3h plus 4. But now the negative comes in, so negative 2x squared plus 3x minus 4. And don't forget, again, there's all over h. So this is where the satisfying part comes in from the difference quotient, because now whatever terms we have that are like terms will typically cancel each other out. So 2x squared cancels out with negative 2x squared. Negative 3x cancels out with positive 3x. And positive 4 cancels out with negative 4. So now let's write out what we are left with. So that's going to be a 4hx plus 2h squared minus 3h all over h. And now we can factor out an h from the numerator to end up with the following. And by factoring out that h in the numerator, that allows us to actually cancel out the h's. So our final answer is 4x plus 2h minus 3. So to do a brief recap, we start out with the original function, f of x, and we need to find f of x plus h first. So we draw a blank set of parentheses everywhere that we see a variable. In this case, it happened to be x. And we fill in those blank spaces with whatever we're trying to plug in this case, x plus h. After doing that, we expand f of x plus h just so we have it ready to go as soon as we plug it into the formula. And then we move on to the formula. F of x plus h we just found, so we write that in first, minus f of x. That's given to us, we just write that down second. Do not forget about the parentheses though. The parentheses, very easy thing to forget, but very important. Those parentheses are what allow us to actually distribute the negative and cancel out all these terms that you see near the last few steps. Once we distribute the negative, that's exactly what happens. We cancel out a bunch of terms. And then from there, we identify if there are any GCFs or greatest common factors in the numerator. In this case, there's an h that's left in all the terms, so we factor that out. And that allows us to cancel out the h in the denominator finally, which leads us to our final answer of 4x plus 2h minus 3. Thanks for watching. Hope that was helpful.